I had absolutely no idea that Max Scherzer was just 6 strikeouts away from joining the 3,000 strikeout club, and at 36 years old, he is having one of his best seasons ever, and this year he is going to finish top 5 in the Cy Young Award. He might even win it, but Corbin Burns is going to have something to say about that. But let me know in the comment section down below, is Max Scherzer a top 10 pitcher of all time, or what does he have to do to join that club? What's going on, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. If this is your first time on the channel, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button because we do this every single day. And if you're going to any baseball games anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off. Yesterday there were 16 games, so my wrists are definitely gonna hurt after having to edit this one and record and script and everything, so I would really appreciate a sub. Let's see if we can get to 360,000 subscribers by the end of today. So we have a no-hitter to talk about. Unfortunately, again, it came at my expense because Cleveland, we just suck. And then the Blue Jays scored 11 runs in a single inning, so you don't want to miss it. Stick around until the end. I know that football season is back, but hey, baseball's not over yet. We have a lot to talk about. So first and foremost, the Brewers versus Cleveland. Christian Yelich is able to double in Colton Wong, and Omar Narvaez makes it 2-0 as Rowdy Tellez changes that to a 3-0 lead in the second. And the final score of the game was 3-0, so no one scored for the rest of the game. Corbin Burns, absolutely electric. I think right now he is the front runner. He might have even locked it up yesterday after going 8 shutout innings with 14 strikeouts, did not allow a single base hit. He threw 115 pitches. I don't know why they didn't throw him back out there for the 9th inning. I guess they wanted to preserve him going into the postseason in case his arm got hurt or something. Josh Hader comes in for a 1-2-3 9th inning to complete the 9th no-hitter of the 2021 season. The previous record was 8 no-hitters, obviously, in a single season, so Corbin Burns now has a 2.25 ERA, a 1.5 FIP, and a 12.4 strikeouts per 9. I mean, if the season ended today, he's my Cy Young pick. This was a very special matchup. We have the Yankees versus the Mets, and their jerseys were really cool. You had one team wearing the police department, and the other team was wearing the fire department to honor those that tragically passed away on 9/11. You have Higgy and Brett Gardner both hitting 2-run home runs, and Aaron Judge smacks the 3rd of the inning for the Yankees. Now, the Mets immediately score 3 in the 2nd inning, and Baez brings them within 1 as James McCann plays hero ball yesterday. He gives the Mets the lead, and then Kevin Pillar makes it 7-5. But Aaron Judge, with his 32nd home run, he ties up the ball game, and then Javier Baez literally throws away the lead on an error. It would have been the 3rd out of the inning on the double play. Aroldis Chapman has a scary 9th inning, but he had some help from Aaron Judge, and he got it done to end this skid. I think the Yankees were on a 7-game losing streak, so they're finally back in the win column, and maybe they can stack up a few more going forward. The Jays versus the Orioles, they faced off in a doubleheader yesterday, and the first game, holy slugfest. That is the only really way that I can describe it. So you have Santander and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. both bashing 2-run shots, and Austin Hayes hit his first of the game, so yes, he's going to have multiple in this one. Vladdy belts homer number 43, so he is again tied with Shohei, or maybe Shohei's at 44, I can't remember, but Vlad is very close to the Triple Crown. Austin Hayes hits his 2nd home run of the game, his 18th of the year, and Mountcastle hits number 27. He is in the Rookie of the Year conversation as well. Severino makes it 10-5, but too bad the Baltimore bullpen sucks. Jake Lamb and Lourdes Gurriel Jr., they drive in 3 RBIs on a couple singles. Jake Lamb drives in another one on a sac fly in the 7th, and George Springer, a 2-run laser beam home run, gives Jordan Romano the lead, and he secures his 17th save as the Jays barely squeak away with an 11-10 victory. And then in game number 2, Cedric Mullins, he starts off the game with his 29th home run. He's batting .302 with 28 stolen bases. He's gonna get 30-30, and then absolutely nothing happened for both teams until the 7th when Toronto erupted for 11 runs in 1 single inning. Bo Bichette hit a 2-run shot. Alejandro Kirk also wanted a 2-run home run. He has a 133 OPS plus for a catcher. That is really good. Marcus Simeon, who is this guy? 39 home runs, 94 RBIs, a career high, 15 stolen bases, and an almost 7 WAR on the season. Teoscar Hernandez goes 445 feet. My goodness, he has 26 home runs, 97 RBIs, and the Jays have 6 guys with 70 plus runs batted in. That is ridiculous. The Red Sox versus the White Sox. Leury Garcia, he kickstarts the game with a 2-run home run, but then Boston, they almost matched the Jays' 11-run inning with a 7-run inning on a few different singles, and Travis Shaw hits a 3-run home run, but the White Sox, they were not going away easy. A bases-loaded walk as well as a Luis Robert, I think it was a double. He clears the bases in the 4th inning, and Yoan Moncada ties it as Yasmani Grandal pimps one to outer space to take the lead back, but unfortunately, the White Sox bullpen cannot hold it as Kike Hernandez ties it on a sac fly. Xander Bogaerts shows off the leather with a web gem in the 9th inning, and Travis Shaw delivers in the 10th. He hasn't been elite or anything like that ever since the Red Sox picked him back up, but he has been clutch, and that is really all that they want from him. And then Taylor grabs his first save of his career. He has been really good this year. The Rangers versus the A's. Starlin Marte, speaking of being really good, he has been insane for the A's. His 11th home run of the year as the A's go up 3-0 after Matt Olson smacks his 33rd home run of the year. He is on pace to almost have a 6-WAR season. He is currently sitting at 4.9 with like 2 or 3 weeks left in the season. But here comes Texas. Nick Solak and Pozo, they both drive in RBIs on singles, and then Mark Canha, he negates those 2 runs with a 2-run bomb. Cole Irvin was really solid, 7 innings, only 2 earned run, but his start was ruined by Sergio Romo. DJ Peters hits a 2-run home run, and Pozo drives in an RBI on a double, and Jonah Heim, his 2-run nuke along with Tavares gives the A's their 16th loss in their last 25 games. They are continuing to just plummet in the wild card and in their own division. I don't know how they're going to turn this around because aside from Starling Marte and Matt Olson, no one else is really contributing. Okay, I can throw in Matt Chapman, but I mean, the A's are struggling. And then last but not least, for the teams that are going for a spot in the wild card, you have the Mariners facing off against the Diamondbacks. David Peralta singles in Ketel Marte, and then they lose the lead after a 2-run home run from Mitch Haniger. But we've talked about this so many times this year. The Diamondbacks, even though they suck, they never quit. Pavin Smith and Seth Beer, they drive in 2 on some singles. Dalton Varsho muscles up for his 10th home run, and he wasn't done just yet. He doubles in Nick Ahmed and Seth Beer in the 6th inning for a 4 RBI day. He's a catcher that can play center field. He has a 112 OPS plus, and he has 5 stolen bases to 0 caught stealing. So as you guys can see, the wild card is going to be a just mad dash to the finish line. A couple teams are within 2 games of second place. You have the Red Sox still in first place, the Yankees and the Jays. I mean, the Mariners and the A's are still in there. It's madness. So this game has nothing to do with the NL wild card, at least for right now, because the Giants smacked the Cubs 15-4 yesterday as Tommy La Stella plates 2 RBIs on a single, and Brandon Belt continues his insane season. 23 home runs after missing 58 games. I don't even know how he was able to hit that ball out. Longoria drives an RBI on a single in the 3rd, and then another RBI on a base-loaded walk in the 5th. Yastrzemski brings home 2 right before La Stella pimps one against his former team. San Francisco ends up with 15 runs. They've won 6 in a row, and dang. Who's going to beat them? The Dodgers faced off against the Padres yesterday. Gavin Lux brings in Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger got on base. Good for him. I'm just being mean at this point. Mookie Betts has a sac fly to give the Dodgers a 2-run lead, but then Tatis, he lives for moments like this. He belts a 2-run home run for his 38th home run of the year. He has a 175 OPS plus and a 6.2 WAR. Those are God numbers. He wants the MVP, and speaking of MVPs, Mookie Betts cranks a 3-run tater for his 20th home run. He has missed 40 games on the season, so he is still having a pretty solid year. Machado drives in Frazier on a single, and Tatis brings in Manny, but then Joe Kelly strikes out 2 in the 8th, and Jansen has a 1-2-3 9th as the Dodgers pick up their 90th win of the year. The Cardinals faced off against the Reds. The Padres need the Reds to lose, and they got that yesterday. Even though Jonathan India goes yard for his 20th home run, he has a 3.7 WAR, and he is the Rookie of the Year right now in the National League. Castellanos, he hits a career-high 28th home run, and then the Cardinals, they have a pretty solid 3rd as well. Paul DeJong goes yard, and Tommy Edman, he drives in 1 to make it 4-2. Nolan Arenado has an RBI triple to left field, and then a collision allows Dylan Carlson to grab an RBI double and tie it up. And Nolan, he seals the deal on his 30th home run of the year. Now has 94 RBIs and a 120 OPS plus. His on-base percentage is a whole lot lower than what it was 2 years ago, but he is still performing above average. The Cardinals, they gained a game after the Reds and the Padres both lost yesterday. The Marlins versus the Braves. Brian De La Cruz and Lewis Brinson grab an early 2-0 lead. And then Olympic athlete, yes, Eddie Alvarez was in the Olympics. I think it was a few years ago for the Winter Olympics. It's his first career home run, and then the lead vanishes after a 3-run fifth inning from the Braves. It stays tied going into the 8th, and then Brian De La Cruz, the man has been a monster ever since he was traded for. Jesus Sanchez is heating up as well. They go back-to-back, and Dylan Floro turns in his 10th save of the year. And last but not least, for the wildcard teams in the National League, the Phillies faced off against the Rockies, and Wheeler, he has to be very sharp because they need this W. And he was exactly that for the first few innings, right before Didi drives in a run on a base with a walk in the 4th. And Odubel Herrera, I can't believe I'm saying this, has a 2 RBI bunt double. You don't see that very often. Gene the hit machine hits a tater. He now has 12 home runs and a 3.7 WAR. Trevor Story goes to the second deck for his 27th home run, and that's all that she wrote for the Rockies offense, as Wheeler struck out 8, only allowed 1 earned run in just under 7 innings. Bamboo Brad Miller goes yard, and Bryce Harper is now hitting .307 with 31 home runs and a 177 OPS plus. So because the Braves lost, the Phillies, they gained a game. They're still 2.5 games back of the wild card, but they're not out of it. So to end these videos going forward, I'm going to kind of recap the games that don't matter a little bit quick. We're still going to talk about them, but the Pirates faced off against the Nationals. Colin Moran knocks in a pair, and then Keibert Ruiz, he clears the bases in the 4th inning as Escobar and Soto make it 5-2. But then Brian Reynolds hits a 2-run bomb, and Ben Gamel ties it up as Reynolds takes a base little walk in the 6th. Moran drives in an RBI, and the Pirates end up with 10 different runs. Do we expect them to be a playoff team next year, maybe in 2023? Maybe it's going to take 5 years. Let me know in the comment section down below. The Angels, they got payback against the Astros after the Astros embarrassed Shohei Ohtani. Walsh doubles in Fletcher, and Rengifo does his job. He puts the ball in play for an RBI, and fast forward to the 3rd, he hits a 2-run bomb. Jose Suarez was terrific yet again. 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, and 5 2/3. The Astros make it interesting in the 9th, but Rizal, he collects his 31st save. The Twins versus the Royals, Byron Buxton goes 445 feet, another moonshot to add to his collection. Jorge Polanco goes back-to-back, and Nick Gordon smacks his 2nd home run of his career. Max Kepler, he bops one for Michael Pineda, who only allows 1 earned run on 0 walks in 5 innings. And Jorge Polanco, he now has 29 home runs, 86 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, and a 5.3 WAR. Jake Cave drives in 2 RBIs, and the Twins are actually above 500 since the beginning of August. And last but not least, the Rays, this was an easy game. Zunino drives in an RBI. Kevin Kiermaier brings home Zunino on a triple, and then Brandon Lau brings home Kevin. Wendell continues to rake. You have Brandon Lau making it 5-0. And Miggy, I just want to mention this. He has an RBI single. He is now just 26 base hits away from 3,000. I'm hoping that he can stay hot for the rest of the year. 2 weeks left. He's going to have to average 2 or 3 base hits every single game. I don't know if that's possible. Randy and Austin Meadows, they both grab an RBI on sac flies, and Robbie Grossman, a terrific signing, 23 home runs. He has a 122 OPS plus over his last 189 games. And Tampa Bay, ever since the beginning of July, they're scoring about 7 runs a game, so they're hard to beat. All right, everyone, well, that does it for today's MLB recap. I tried to go a little bit quicker today because I know today is special for a lot of people, considering that football is back. I'm a big Broncos fan, so maybe we'll be better with Teddy Bridgewater. Maybe Drew Lock is going to get motivated, and he's not going to throw as many picks. Who knows? But stay safe out there. Use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek for 20 bucks off baseball tickets, and enjoy this day in MLB history.
499 home runs. Ortiz to right field. Back goes Souza. Looking up. It is gone. David Ortiz, the newest member of the 500 Club. Big Papi, the greatest clutch hitter in Red Sox history, adds to his resume with number 5.